Hey, this is Mike from Junkyard Crafts and Builds, and for this video, we are going to look at G.I. Joe Classified Series number 9, Snake Supreme Cobra Commander. Or are we? This, I just got in this week from AliExpress. That's right, this is the KO version of the Supreme Cobra Commander. I didn't know there were many KOs out there right now, but this guy came in yesterday, had a chance to mess around with him, and he's not that bad. Now, for those that didn't know, the Supreme Cobra Commander was first released in September of 2020, and he was a Pulse exclusive. Sold out very quickly, and now the aftermarket costs are well over $100 for the official. This guy here, 18 bucks. So AliExpress has not only the Supreme Snake, but we also have the Regal version of the regular Cobra Commander release, which has been kind of hard to find as well. So let's go ahead and see if this KO is actually worth anything. So right now we have the front of the box, and it is a good re-representation of the original figure. In fact, it still has some of the glossy parts for Cobra Commander himself and the Cobra symbol behind the throne. On the side, we have good reprints of this elaborate design that's supposed to be on Cobra Commander. We actually have the cutouts showing the multi-tiered cardboard for the back. And again, another representation of that design. And he is number 9. Cardboard wise, it's not bad. It's not the thickest cardboard. So once the box sleeve is off, we have again this nice representation that looks almost exactly like the original. Again, number 9. We have all these little tech things, tech specs, whatever, no one's paying attention to it. And we have the print of the Supreme Cobra Commander on this side. All right, so again, cardboard isn't bad. Embossed pieces on this box here. So now we just crack them open. And if you guys have never had the original, I'm assuming this is just one of the cool things about it is that it will breach open like this, and there is Cobra Commander with all his accessories. So we have Cobra Commander out of his box, and I just wanted to show what was behind the plastic. And again, they followed through and made this really cool image of the throne, and they even included a Hasbro little warning sheet for all the fun stuff that we get. So A for effort. So we're going to do things a little different here, just because you want to look at what this KO is and if it's worth your money. So let's just look at the aesthetics real quick. I will say right off the bat, the plastic, for the most part, doesn't feel bad. It is a little gummy here in the arms and such, but I'm referencing all this off of the latest Joes that we've been getting, which we know they've made improvements since 2020 with the figures in the line. I will take that into consideration. So zooming in, we're going to get a little closer look at Cobra Commander here, and you can see right off the bat there's a little bit of a bend here with his helmet, but the paint on the face at least isn't bad. We have this gold and red trim around the helmet, and it's not applied horribly. There is a little bit of, touch up and mess ups here, but overall, not horrible. The Cobra symbols on the cape were not applied squarely. Obviously this one's kind of in place, but this one here is totally off. It looks like it's glued in, so I'll have to remove that and reapply the glue. Looking at the body and this elaborate design here, it's not horrible. It's a little soft compared to the official that I watched on T-Man 978's channel, and some of the red Cobras here, at least they're all colored in, not horribly. We do have this little amplet across the top here. We do have the Cobra on the collar painted in that gold. Not a horrible job at all. The plastic here, like I said, you can see the paint was applied across everything. So in scrolling down, like I said, we got the red here. Just general application is pretty decent, but it, obviously it's not exactly as what Hasbro would produce. Or is it? Again, we got these nice little designs here. We have the texture on the leg. On both sides here, we got the texture for this sword scabbard, boots, and all. Oh, I'm sorry, we got the little Cobra symbols here. These are painted, you know, decently enough. But one last thing is the cape. It is a fabric cloth cape across everything. I think the original had a little more of a shine on the black part here, but then it's red, and it is sewn along the edges, but the bottom here is completely open between the two. But yeah, that's kind of odd that, you know, it's a big gaping hole underneath here. Next, we're going to go through articulation, and yes, this should be at the same level of articulation as all the other classified line. But what I'm really looking for is the quality of the plastic. The joints, are they toleranced well? Are they super tight? Are they not? Do they bend? Those are the kind of things I'm going to look at. So let's go ahead and start with the head. You can look up that far. You can look down that far. The head is a 360 and a little bit of attitude. So let's see what his head looks like off. So we have a standard ball peg hinge with a double ball, with a ball peg inside the neck. It's a little tight going up and down, to be honest with you, but it seems pretty solid. Doesn't feel gummy or weak at all. And we have a little soft ratchet here going on, but you can obviously strike a T-pose. He's got butterflies that go back that far, which is pretty good. That does cause the cape to slide back and forth, but that's where you get to play around with it. Again, not bad. Little bit of a gum, but not horrible. We have pinned double jointed elbows that go up that far. You can see again a little bit of overspray here at the bottom part of his gauntlet going around. Doesn't feel too awful. I mean, it's definitely gummy here. And you can see there's a little bit of a separation here, a little bit of stress from manipulating it around, but overall not horrible. And let's check the other side because this is a KO. And we get a nice little ratchet going through. So there is his double jointed elbow on this side. This has a horizontal pivot for the open hand. It seems to be out a little bit, but we have a vertical up and down. Now that does feel a little hinky trying to manipulate that. And as you can tell here, it's not really setting in the forearm very well. Moving down to the torso, we have our hinge for the abs. So he can bend forward that far. It's a little tight. We can bend back that far. And you can see that the print continues up into his chest. You know, and that could just loosen up a little bit over time. We'll see. Moving down to the legs, we have our drop down hips on both sides. They don't seem bad. We get our up and downs. We can kick up that far, and we can go back just that far before the design of the waistcoat gets in the way. And I never really showed off that part right there. Pretty neat looking. All right, so there's the drop downs. They don't feel bad. He can only get about that far though, at least with this copy. We do have thigh rotation, and we have pinned double jointed knees that can go back pretty much all the way. Very cool. The joints on the knees are well toleranced on this copy. I don't feel I need to heat anything up with them, so that's good. We have a boot cut here, again well toleranced, and then we have our ankles, so we can go up that far, we can go down that far, and we have our rotation. So that is everything I have for articulation. This is okay on my book, so let's go ahead and go through the accessories. So here we have all the accessories that came with the Supreme Cobra Commander, and we're just going to start with the blade. We'll kit them up as we go. Here is his ceremonial sword, similar to what we got with the original Cobra Commander. This one's just decorated in red and a gold blade. As you can tell, a little warped with it, but looking at the design on the snake head, it's not bad for a copy. So definitely hits all the blocks there. Let's see how it fits inside the scabbard. In without an issue. All right, looks good. Next, we'll look at his retro laser blaster. Now, this is identical to the vintage Cobra Commander, and Cobra Commander can hold it in his trigger hand without an issue. And once it's in place, after a little bit of pushing, it's definitely not coming out. Fits in there. That is the sculpt for the Cobra head isn't bad. Got a little bit of flashing here. Not too gummy at all. So, and he can hold the scepter fairly well. It is pliable enough between his fingers to actually sit in there fairly easily. Next accessory is his globe. And, you know, it's not one-to-one a marble. And here's Supreme Cobra Commander holding that globe in his clutching evil hand. Final two accessories are these alternate hands. For Cobra Commander, we have a pointing hand, and then we have a fist hand. And here we have the alternate hands in Supreme Cobra Commander. His fist hand has a horizontal hinge to go in and out, same as the pointer finger. So that's all the accessories for this KO version of Supreme Cobra Commander. And again, the accessories, the quality is not bad at all. Plastic is firm enough, but still has that flexibility to get through the fingers on the trigger hand. So I am not unimpressed with this KO. So for comparisons, this is the obvious and most important one, and that is having the KO Supreme Cobra Commander with my original Cobra Commander, which is pretty much the same design here between the two, and the HasLab His Tank exclusive Mickey Ears Retro Cobra Commander. And with these three together, I couldn't really tell you, unless I knew, looking at these things, that this felt like a KO. Specifically with these two. With these two here, obviously the design is identical, and the biggest feel here is this plastic feels lighter, if that makes any sense. And that is coming down to just the quality of the plastic that this is made from. But the joints, like I said, on this are well toleranced, almost identical to what we have here with Cobra Commander. So final impressions of the AliExpress Classified Series number 9 Supreme Cobra Commander. He's not a bad figure for 19 bucks. In fact, I mean, the quality, while there are some minor things in regards to the feel of the plastic, it's a little light. The accessories are on par with what we have gotten in those early waves of Classified. The deco, other than a couple little smudges, is pretty much, in my opinion, close to being identical to what the official release looked like. Articulation is a Classified series. The tolerances are well done. I have one little loose bit in regards to his butterfly on this side, but that's it. All the accessories, like I said, have a fairly substantial firmness to them in regards to the plastic. So I know he's still available on AliExpress if you wish to pick up this KO version. There's also the Regal version of the original Cobra Commander as well, and that I think is for the same price or $1 or $2 cheaper. I'm not unhappy with this guy, especially when I could get an official one, but I'd be paying over triple the amount. So that's everything I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.